In this session, let us look at the finally block in the sequence of try and catch block. We also have one finally block which is optional, and if we use it, it gets executed after the successful execution of the try block or one of the catch blocks have successfully handled the exception. Now let's understand it through an example. Let us say we have an integer num1 is equal to 100. Let's say we have another integer num2 which is 0, for example, and then we have a try block which is going to do something like this. Num3 is equal to num1 divided by num2, and we are actually trying to generate the arithmetic exception over here. And then we have a catch block, which over here I'm just going to use to catch a generic exception E, and simply going to print out the details of the exception, so e dot get message. And after that, over here we can use a finally, and inside the finally block we can write our code. So whatever cleanup code that we want to add, any steps we want to take after execution of a particular block of code, so finally block will get executed even when the try block is executed successfully, or even if there is exception. So in any case, the finally will get executed. So for example, over here let me put some lines of code like something like this, finally block code. So when we run the program, we see an exception occurred. So this e dot get message, that is divide by 0, is the exception message, and then finally block executed. Now let's make it 10. So in this case, it won't go to the catch block. We don't see any exception message getting printed, but still finally block gets executed. Okay, so any cleanup code, any code that we want to execute, for sure in the sense, even though the exception occurs, exception does not occur, that we can put inside the finally block. As simple as that. And one more thing, when you put the finally block, the catch block becomes optional. So you can just have a try block and finally block, that's fine, but then there is a risk. If there is an issue, there is an exception inside the try block, then the mitigation steps we will have to add in the finally. But then we will not be able to use multiple finally blocks like we have multiple catch blocks according to different exceptions. But just to let you know, this is optional. If you have a finally block, catch block becomes optional. Okay, so this is about the exceptions and exception handling in Java. If you have any questions, let me know, or if you feel any other concepts are left untouched, then also let me know in the comments. And in the next section of videos, I'll talk to you with some new topics. Thank you.